everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 663. We are that podcast talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
And I am Mako-chan.
And Ari is off tonight. He's doing the midweek shift. Don't worry, he will be back next week. So anywho, enough about all of that. Mako-chan, how are you doing tonight?
Meh.
I'm feeling quite opposite. I'm just feeling kind of spicy the last few days. So, and I have no idea what's bringing that on. So, anyhow, I have therapy on Thursday, so I'll bring it up with the doc, and maybe he can figure something out. So, you know. Anywho, enough about this. We're not here to talk about other things. We're here to talk about what's going on in the industry, conventions, and all this other stuff. And we also know what's up with you and how y'all doing tonight. So that's how we do things around here. So I want to let you know that we are. I already said that part that we're live. Did I? No, I did not. I'm about to do that now. We are live tonight, week of February 4th, 2025, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You can always find us at twitch.tv/anime jam session. We're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. And they are also on Twitch as well. You can find them at twitch.tv/vognetwork. And they kick things off on Sundays starting at 8 p.m. with the Bobby Blackwolf show at 8 and Orange Lounge Radio at 9. Just so you know, there's a programming note. There'll be no Bobby Blackwolf this upcoming Sunday. He'll be off watching the Super Bowl. As for me, I'll be looking forward to the commercials, and that's just about it. And most likely, before the Super Bowl, all the commercials should be up by Friday, so I can just sit there and watch them at work and just call it a day, because I'm not bothered.
Most of them are already out.
Oh, really? Okay. Even better. Maybe I'll watch a stream of someone playing Tecmo Bowl or something like that. Who knows? Anywho, come hang out in our Discord. vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's part of the Voice of Geeks Network has a channel, so come through, hang out, and have a good time. And that's how we do things around here. So now we got that out the way, we're going to kick things over to Mako and ask her how was her week and how was her day. Mako-chan, how was your week and how was your day?
Not bad. I am suffering from a little bit of chest congestion right now. Hope that it does not turn into bronchitis. We shall see. Other than that, I went shopping this past weekend.
Yeah.
And got the stuff to make onigiri.
That's cool.
And for my first attempt at it, I don't think I did such a bad job.
I saw the pictures. It wasn't that bad.
I didn't I flavored the rice. I got the nori, and I was already making chicken.
Right.
So just took some of the chicken, shredded it, and put some teriyaki sauce on it, and put that inside. Yummy!
Sounds delicious.
It was. And I have plenty of rice left, and I have nori left, and I have more chicken, I have pulled pork, and I have tuna. So at some point, I will make up some more.
See, that reminds me of, so here's the thing. Over the last, I would say, several months, my Facebook Reels have just been rotating. It's like, first it was just mostly videos from Japan and retro modding. Then it went to D-level models who are modeling clothing, and I'm just like, yeah, not on my Facebook. Not interested. So I had to keep telling it no. And that rotated out to more travel videos, and it rotated out to cat and pet videos, which I'm perfectly okay with. And now it's back on a rotation of travel videos and pet videos. And I remember seeing this one reel about a guy who went to 7-Eleven in Japan and got an onigiri, and it was like delicious as F all. And I'm just sitting there going, Yeah, can't wait. 100 and like X amount. I think I have like 109 days left before my trip.
Nice.
And the only reason why I know that is because I have to get insurance. Now, I normally don't. I normally travel without insurance. I'm just like I wing it. And I think when I went to Japan last time, I put insurance. I don't remember, but I have to put insurance on it. And as I was putting everything together, updating the information and the notes and stuff, and I was just looking over at YouTube. No. I was going onto the site where my tickets were, and it just had like a countdown of like how many days left until the trip. I was like, okay, yeah, wait. So enough about that. So let me tell you about my weekend day. It's basically just been work as per normal. I was planning to go out and meet up with some friends, but that didn't happen. And I think that was a blessing because I am working on DerpyCon photos, and I have to do a special rush order on a few photos, and I I may explain that later. But let me tell you, ever since I've moved into this place, my routine has been thrown to hell to high water. I haven't even mailed out my holiday cards yet. I mean, I have like the word file of the labels for the Christmas cards. All I gotta do is actually sit down and print them out and just start looking, just sealing them, just get them together, and then somehow get to the post office. I think if after I edit tonight's show and I get them printed, I get them done, I'll get up a little bit extra early, hit the post office, and just drop them all off and be on my merry little way. God willing, God, Kami hoping. We'll see about that. Especially since I promised one of my friends, I got her a souvenir when I went to Universal, so I want to make sure that gets out there too. So I may have to put like a little extra stampage on that one. So we'll see. So that's basically has been my weekend day. That and just trying to make this place a little bit more livable now that I have another piece of furniture and I gotta move stuff into storage. I realized I forgot to give you like my proton pack to put into storage.
Mm.
And well, next time you come out this way, I'll give it to you then. I'm not really hard up for it, stuff like that. So enough about that. So we got that out the way. Now let's get into housekeeping news. I want to let you know that episodes of Anime Jam Session are available on our YouTube page. Episodes go up Thursdays at 12 p.m. That's our podcasting VODs. These are perfect for episodes outside of Twitch. If you want to see episodes you don't have access to anymore, you can head over to our YouTube page, youtube.com/anime jam session. Click on podcasts, and there's a complete playlist right there. So click on an episode and enjoy. Wisteria, which VT's Fans View Friday. I don't know if she's doing one this week. If she is, check it out on her Twitch page. If not, stand by for next week's episode. And the Anime Jam Session 2025 convention season is kind of sorta in high gear. Our first convention of the year is ZenkaiCon 2025 in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, March 21st to the 23rd at the Lancaster County Convention Center and the attached Marriott Hotel. So come through, hang out, and have a good time. The hotel is sold out, but there are neighboring hotels nearby that's not that far. So come through and have a good time. And it looks like they're moving more panel rooms into the Holiday Inn. That's like a block and a half away. So that's going to be interesting. And now that my Twitch panel was approved, yes, I am doing a panel at ZenkaiCon once again. It's Twitch Streaming 101. And this is not a panel about how to look good on Twitch or how to do this, how to do that. My panel is about the nitty gritty, the hardware, what you need before you get out there and do your thing. So, and don't worry, everything on my list is kind of price conscious per se, and price where it's like, if you want to keep doing this, you don't have to worry about upgrading hardware anytime soon and all that good stuff. So that's going to be fun. So once I have more information on when that panel is, come on out and check it out. And if you have any questions, by all means, let me know. And I think Wild Spice might be joining me. I just reached out to her about that. So I just want to check and see because it was fun, the two of us doing that panel. So now we
Nice.
now that we got that out the way, we're gonna get into Geek Roundtable. This is the part of the show where we talk more about the geekier aspects of our lives and what we have been up to, and sharing some cool stuff. So, Mako, tell them which Gundams those are, because I think by now everybody on the show knows your favorite Gundam Wing series is. So,
Yeah, so there is an SD Gunpla uh, series that's out there.
mm-hmm.
So this is part of the Gundam Wing portion of that SD series.
Yeah,
So this is actually, uh, I believe this is from the movie.
Endless Waltz.
I think so. I
Okay.
think these are the Endless Waltz versions. So, yeah, I I got them for Christmas. My aunt ended up giving me an Amazon gift card.
Hmm.
So I spent it all on buildable things.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. So yeah, I really like these two. Um, it's because they are so small. If you look into the details of them, you can see that some pieces, just to display right,
Mm-hmm.
show some of the not so nice portions of a gunpla,
Mm-hmm.
but that's okay. I'm perfectly okay with that again because it's so tiny.
Exactly. It's more the
Like
point. Yeah.
if you look at the back, none of the back stuff is finished. So you just see open legs and feet and all of
Mm-hmm.
that.
See, honestly, I think when it's like the minis or SD, no one really cares with the detailing. It's more about as long as it looks like the Gundam that it is. Now, when you get those perfect grades, that's when it's all about the detailing. So
Mm,
I still
yeah,
need.
I still want the one that came out for Death Scythe. Um, Death Scythe is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Wing is second, and then Epion is third. But there is that perfect version of Death Scythe. It's like $350. It sold out right away. I completely and totally want it, but that's one of those that no.
See, that might be something I might have find in Japan. And be like, it's going to cost you about 500. Yeah, the Gundam itself is about 200, but 300 to ship and insure.
Yeah, I mean, even that, again, it really depends, but
Mm-hmm.
some of the stuff is so pretty.
Yeah, and I totally get it. I totally do.
Actually, it looks like it might be. No, I can't actually find that version of it anymore.
Hmm. I actually want a Nobel Gundam just so I can modify it to look like a Sailor Venus mech. Well,
I mean, stuff like that, you can actually pretty much uh, get
mhm.
blanks
Oh, I
that
know. I
cheaper
think
than getting, the actual name brand kind of thing.
yeah, I know. Either you can get the blanks, or you actually get the official parts to make it look like one of the Senshi Gundams.
Mm-hmm.
So I know Alcrea, she has the gun. She has Nobel Moon, so should ask her to take a picture and post it. That'd be kind of cool. All right. So for me, I like I said, any figures and stuff I have are still in box, either here or in a box at work that I have not brought home because I don't really have the room to really display. But I can say that I have gotten further into watching Yakuza, the TV series. It's basically it's the first game with tie-ins from Yakuza 0. So far it's been really good. And it's gotten me to get back into playing Yakuza 0, and I'm really enjoying that. And I just realized the other day I don't have Kiwami 2, so that's sitting in my cart until I get around to pulling the trigger on it. And to be perfectly honest, after counting up all of my video games, I'm in no rush to pick up the physical copy of it just yet. I'm like, I can wait. Now they're saying there's gonna be no more, then that's when I'll push the button. Let's see what else is there. I just caught up with Sakamoto Days, which is really good, and I think that's basically has been it. I've been so busy trying to take care of other things, I have not been able to keep up with some anime, but I did discover that Red Ranger and Isekai World, that's officially being dubbed right now, so I'm going to start watching the dub of that. Let's see. I think Classroom of the Elite Season 3 started, and the 100 Girlfriends That Really, Really Love You Season 2 has started, so I may look at that. I'm slowly making my way through the end of Jujutsu Kaisen, which, Jesus Christ. I do know, once I finish that, I'm going to watch ReZero Season 3, because it was only like 13 episodes, which makes no sense since the last season was like 26 or something like that. So I think once Jujutsu Kaisen is done, I catch up with ReZero, then I will probably continue with Red Ranger and a couple of other series. By then, like, half the dub track is available. So, I mean, I do love watching subtitled anime. Believe you me, I do. But there are some really good dubs out there, and I like to support the dub track, the people, the American voice actors, you know. And let's be real, there is no dub versus sub wars anymore. Either when you buy the physical copy, you either watch the dub or the sub and you just call it a day. Or if you're watching on a streaming service, you wait a couple of weeks and they start dropping the dub. That's all it really is. It's sort of like how people are still arguing that there's still a console war. Let's be real. Xbox 360 versus PS3. 360 barely won that war. Xbox One versus PS4, Xbox got spanked. PS5 versus Xbox Series. We all know PS5 took that one. But at that point, Microsoft was trying to look at something different. Nintendo's like, we're doing our thing. And then you got the Sony fanboys who keep pushing for it while the other big three are like, you know what? We're just going to do our own thing and just help each other wherever we can. So, and it's funny that people think that, oh, this is Microsoft's swan song. There won't be another console. And let me tell you something. As a former employee of Microsoft, as long as there's an Xbox Game Studios, as long as there is a Game Pass, there will always be an Xbox. Yes, they can promote their games and the Game Pass on other devices, but it's kind of embarrassing when you don't have your own console to show off the functionality. And that's basically what it is. And as long as it continues to be a Microsoft Windows, it'll always be a Surface. So, as for their mobile devices, I kind of wish they bring back Windows Mobile, but you know, that's neither here nor there. So, enough about that. Let's get into the topics at hand tonight. Let me take a look at.
I have to interject here. There is a new Death Scythe out.
Uh-oh.
The previous one, which was the metal composite, that one was $310. That one was pre-order in 2022 and delivered 2023. This one now is $380. Pre-order now with delivery in August. Yeah, I cannot drop $400 on Gunpla right now. But it's so pretty. And that is all.
Do you need a private moment?
Maybe.
You're terrible. What am I going to do with you, Mako-chan?
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know. Really good question.
I know this much. No jury in the world will probably convict me, so.
It, I I plead the fifth.
Oh, God. Okay, let's try to get through a show tonight, huh? Or at
I
least make it
try.
make an attempt.
As I said, we can try.
Mm, well, that's well. The wheels already fell off the podcast train anyway, so.
Choo choo, motherfucker.
God. All right. Well, let's start things off with something that we have been discussing off and on this show, ve- ve- here and there for the last couple of years, anime and piracy, and we've had discussions here about the entitled weebs who feel that they should not have to pay for their anime because they're already paying for other stuff. No, it doesn't work that way anymore. The age of the fan subs are the golden age of fan subbing is over. Again, there used to be an honor code where if a series was licensed, they would drop the series and move on to something else. It used to be where people would sub it for the fun of it, and you would do tape trades, or you would give them $5, which covered the postage and the tape itself, and then it got a little chaotic. So, anywho, the Motion Pictures Association, comprising of Netflix, Disney, Amazon, Sony, and other studios, have backed a new bill bolstering efforts to ban access to anime, live action, novels, music, and other forms of piracy sites in the US and potentially beyond. According to Torrent Freak, on January 29, 2025, US Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren tabled H.R. 791, the Foreign Anti-Digital Piracy Act, FADPA, FADPA. If enacted, copyright holders and exclusive licensees, collectively referred to as petitioners, will be able to petition a U.S. district court to issue a preliminary order to certain U.S. service providers such as Google, Cloudflare, and other broadband providers as an initial step to forcing to block customer access to foreign piracy platforms. Meaning, what they can do is if Crunchyroll discovers there is a site that's promoting their bootleg anime streams, they can go to the district court and have them blocked. Let's say it's coming through Comcast. Comcast would have to block that website. Let's say it's being hosted on Cloudflare as well. Cloudflare will have to block access to that site if it's not blocked by your ISP, so on and so forth. And that's basically the long story and short of it. Now, on top of that, what'll happen is that when it goes through the courts, they're going to have a risk assessment to find out if this order will interfere with user access to non-infringing material. Meaning, if blocking anime by the site or the ISP or whatever, will this have an issue with you accessing non-blocked stuff? That's what that means. Now, in doing so now, will this cause an issue with the provider when doing so, which could cause an issue with operating the site or anything like that? Personally, I don't think that's going to be that much of an issue because you can go in, run some commands, and block certain sites, and it will not impede the network or anything like that. It's like a firewall. You just block a site and you just move on. Now, when this happens, the operator has 30 days to appear in court for a response. If there's no opposition, the court may appoint a master to assist the court in verifying the claims of the rights holder. The court will otherwise render its judgment within 14 days of receiving an opposition from the foreign site. If the court is satisfied with the petitioner's claim and the risk assessment, it will issue the blocking order, forcing service providers to deny access to the site within 15 days, 20 if the court finds good cause. Notably, the court can also issue a blocking order without waiting for the foreign platform's opposition in the case of an imminent or ongoing live event, such as a sports or concert. If the court has issued a blocking order for a live event, the service provider must comply within 7 days. Non-live events, and after the blocking order is granted, the petitioner can move at any point to have it extended for another 12 months if the foreign website has not ceased its infringement. Basically, as I said before about blocking sites, now whoever the hoster is, they have to appear in court and kind of defend themselves. And if they don't, the court's like, you know what? Go ahead, keep it on lockdown. And that's basically what it boils down to. And if it's like a live event, let's say a live streaming concert on Ticketmaster.com, and someone has, and there's a sites that are promoting it, they have 7 days to handle that shit. So, that's basically what it boils down to. And then after everything is said and done, if a hoster doesn't do anything about it, this petition can be extended for another 12 months. So basically, if you ignore it, you're going to continue to get blocked. The bill defined U.S. service providers as broadband providers with over 100,000 subscribers and DNS resolution providers with over 100 million in annual revenue that don't exclusively provide DNS services through encrypted means. The likely recipient of these orders would be major ISPs like Comcast, AT&T, Cloudflare, and Google, which operates Google Public DNS. These two companies have been at the center of numerous DMCA takedown requests and U.S. subpoenas related to copyright infringement. Cloudflare was recently subpoenaed on behalf of Weekly Shonen Jump Shueisha, while Crunchyroll and Funimation has filed over 45 million DMCA takedown requests with Google. And what in the... Oh, my bad. I'm moving around in my chair. I'm just like, what did my foot hit? Don't tell me this chair is coming apart. No, it was my shoe. Never mind. Anywho. The bill also defines what a foreign piracy website means in its context. The site must be operated by a foreign person who is in turn defined as a person physically located outside of the U.S. It also refers to people whose physical location cannot be determined within the U.S., potentially broadening its scope. The site must be found to be primarily designed for infringing copyright, intentionally marketed to be used as an infringing website, and have no commercially significant purpose other than infringing copyright. Which basically is most anime streaming sites anyway. They're not going to straight out say F you to these people who like, come through, come and get it. The bill seems aimed at limiting the less tech savvy from accessing piracy sites, as it says that the blocking order cannot require service providers to take action that will prevent users from using VPNs. The order cannot specify any technical measures on how the service provider should block access, which Lovgren says enables service providers the best, least intrusive method to comply with the court orders, preserving internet stability and security. The bill also attempts to assuage providers by providing certain immunities. A service provider, assuming that the order is followed correctly, is exempt from any injury alleged by the foreign site and its users, irrespective of the damage caused, or if the court finds that the order was improperly served. Additionally, the petitioner cannot later allege copyright infringement against the provider, as if to argue to serve the court order is proof that they were previously facilitating a crime. So basically, if you're going to go after somebody, it's like, if you're going to go after the king, you only have one shot. This is basically saying, if you're going to do this, make sure your ducks are in a row, cross your T's, dot your I's, because once this goes through, that is it. End of list. So, again, this is the perfect time to pick up a Crunchyroll subscription, or a Hulu subscription, or a High Dive subscription. Hell, have a friend create an account profile for you and give them a few dollars towards it. This is going to happen one way or another. So it's just a matter of time before the guillotine drops. So now we got that out the way. We have more news. What's going on in abuse in the anime studios? The Japan Fair Trade Commission is investigating this, and this is something we have talked about on this show more times than we should. Maka,
Yes.
it's on you.
Yes. Well, speaking of investigations into problematic conduct, The Japan Fair Trade Commission is actually looking into launching an investigation on the anime industry. So they are looking into any quote unquote problematic transactions between anime and film production companies and staff within those industries. They have opened up a form for anyone to provide information which can be filled out anonymously.
Hmm.
Examples of problematic conduct in the anime industry include cases where there was no contract or order form to procure work from a staff member, or where their production company unilaterally imposed an extremely low price on you, where the order was canceled without reason, where you were asked to do unreasonable retakes without compensation, or where an unreasonable schedule was imposed on you. So they are seeking information from those who currently or formerly have worked in the anime industry as freelancers, production company employees, employees at other companies within the anime industry and elsewhere. Examples of issues that staff can raise include compensation, abuse of rights, contract abuses, matters outside contracted work, matters related to transaction negotiations, and industry problems more generally.
Mm-hmm.
It seeks the potential names of perpetrators, evidence, how the problematic behavior was discovered, and witnesses. So obviously there have been tons of allegations of problematic behavior. One incident report published last year revealed that 1 in 5 animators weren't explained the terms of their contracts when joining the industry. Retakes are commonplace, and while they can be par for the course, as directors try to create a cohesive production by tweaking things, they can also stem from unusable work, which can in turn arise from poor technique or lack of communication, opening up a gray area for abuse. Scheduling issues are also common. Fans may remember uh, Jujutsu, where animators publicly blasted their conditions on a near weekly basis. Popular animator Vincent Chansard, who's done JJK, One Piece, and Boruto, said he would never work with MAPPA again, stating that he doesn't want to support a company that ideologically doesn't care about working conditions. Many will be looking forward to the findings. The form's reference to production companies largely encompasses companies involved in the anime experience on screen rather than the production companies that plan, invest, oversee, and market the anime, in addition to other managerial roles. These companies are also cited as major issues behind exploitation in the anime industry
Yep.
through imposing crunching schedules, tight budgets, and minimal profit sharing, described as unfair by senior animators like Nishi Terumi, who does Jujutsu Kaisen
Mm-hmm.
and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So, following the launch of the investigation, Terumi advised everyone on Twitter to ensure they air their daily complaints and not to miss the opportunity to fight back in a quote post, citing the recent Fuji TV scandal and production committee issues. She also said that she spoke with someone involved with the investigation and learned that the publication date for findings isn't finalized,
Mm-hmm.
may be at the end of the year. Other industry veterans said also that this is an opportunity for major change and called for relentless reporting. Meanwhile, others have called on staff to report companies that don't raise the unit prices for animation. I mean, we have talked a lot about the issues in the anime industry in Japan.
Mm,
And even going as far back as, uh, the first couple of seasons of Sailor Moon Crystal.
yep.
Um, Unreasonable working conditions, trying to get things out quickly, and fixing things on the back end. That's not how you should be doing things. That's not the way to support your artists. That's not the way to promote your show.
Mm, mm,
So it goes on to show that, this is, it's a long time coming.
and then you still got people gonna still push back against it and like, no, why anime? You weren't entitled to this shit in the first place.
Well, I mean, it's not even that. It should be sorry.
You
It should
good?
be making things better for everybody, even
Mm-hmm.
us, because, as much money that they are quote unquote saving by not paying the artists what they need, because of the quality of the work and having to redo it so many times to actually get a quality product that can go out to, DVDs and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
spending more money in the long run.
Well, the price you pay for a physical.
Hmm.
And personally, I am all for that. All right. Now we're going to move along to some sad news. And you've probably heard it already. If not, I'm going to let you know right now that rock band, alt rock group, The Pillows, disbands. And if you're not familiar with The Pillows, if you ever seen Footy Cootie, they do the theme Ride On Shooting Star. And me personally, I am very thankful that I got a chance to see them twice in concert. Those were fun times. So, anywho, it is a sad day for Japanese rock band The Pillows. Following a show at KT Zep on January 31st, the members officially announced they have disbanded, ending a legacy of 35 years that includes 22 studio albums and a boost in global recognition thanks to the iconic soundtracks for Footy Cootie. The band thanked their fans for their support over the past 35 years, and while they noted that disbanded is a strong term, they didn't want to leave room for expectations for a future reunion. The statement notes that the official website and the social media accounts will continue as the Pillows Monument, which will be used to share updates on individual activities. And the statement reads as follows: To all fans of The Pillows, thank you for always supporting The Pillows. This is a sudden announcement, but The Pillows officially disbanded following their show at KT Zep Yokohama on January 31st. The members sincerely thank all their fans for their constant support over the past 35 years. These years have been been a truly memorable journey, and it's all thanks to the fans. The band hesitated to use the word disbanded as it is a strong term. However, they decided to use it rather than leave room for expectations of a future reunion. The members are deeply grateful to the fans who valued their music and supported them throughout their career. They hope to meet the fans again through their individual activities in the future. Thank you once again for supporting The Pillows for 35 years. From Bad Music Group Publishing. The group first formed in 1989, with the main and final lineup consisting of vocalist and rhythm guitarist Sawa Yamanaka, lead guitarist Yoshiaki Manabe, and drummer Shinichiro Sato. They had a number of different bassists over the years, starting with Kenji Ueda in 1989, and most recently featuring Tomoyuki Miyakawa. Western audiences of The Pillows skyrocketed with the release of Gainax's original series, Footy Cootie, back in 2000. They would return to the series to contribute music to Footy Cootie Progressive and Footy Cootie Alternative, both are terrible animes, don't watch them, seasons in 2018, followed by Footy Cootie Grunge and Footy Cootie Shugaze in 2023. Again, do not watch these animes, both are trash.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
I mean, look, Mad, we've probably been there when you watch an anime series that you thought was really great, and then like here's a sequel or a spin-off series, and you're just severely disappointed by it. Yeah. All right. Now that we got that out the way, our next story here is about Kyoto Animation. I think we're gonna get some type of positive news out of this, maybe.
Um, yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so it was announced on January 28th that the defendant who was sentenced in the January 2024 arson attack, no, who was sentenced in January of 2024 for the Kyoto Animation arson attack,
Mm-hmm.
drew his appeal of the guilty verdict on January 27th. This closes the case and brings the trial to an end. The team initially appealed the sentencing on January 26th of last year, a day after the initial ruling. So the Kyoto District Court
Mm-hmm.
sentenced him to the death penalty
Mm.
following the guilty verdict on January 25th, 2024, for the murder of 36 employees, who included the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, director Yashu Takamoto, animator Yoshiji Kigami, chief animation director on the free franchise Fudoshi Nishiya, sound Emporium character designer Shuko Ikeda, and many more. Attempted murder on 32 counts, arson, breaking and entering, and violating the firearms and sword control law. uh, the Kyoto Animation lawyer released a short statement about the withdrawal, stating Kyoto Animation is aware that the appeal has been withdrawn. However, we will refrain from further comments until the situation has been resolved. The defense team did not make a statement at the time of reporting, with the Osaka High Court announcing the withdrawal directly. A letter of withdrawal was submitted to the Osaka High Court from the lawyers, but there have been cases where such letters have been invalid due to systematic reasons, and it is unlikely to be the case in this trial. Throughout the trial, the defense lawyers argued for a reduced sentence based on mental health reasons, stating back in September 2023 that he was mentally incapable of distinguishing between what is good and what is bad. However, he passed two mental health evaluations with doctors from both sides agreeing that he understood that the acts committed were criminal. It was said that the presiding judge at the time of sentencing said the court has found the defendant was not mentally incompetent,
Mm-hmm.
emotionally compromised at the time of the crime. So if everything goes through and there are no more issues, he is going to be on Japan's death row.
And what's interesting is you really can't find much information on Japan's death penalty and so forth. I mean, yes, there are some YouTube videos out there that kind of give you an explanation, but there's no actual videos like screenshots and so forth. And from my understanding, they do death by hanging.
I think so.
Yeah, I've seen. I forget which prison it is, but they actually show pictures of how it's set up and so forth.
Yeah, it's I'm looking on Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
In practice, it is applied only for aggravated murder. Executions are carried out by long drop hanging, and there are 7 execution chambers located in major cities across the country.
Okay, so there's more. I just knew about one because that was. It's only on a few YouTube videos I've watched that kind of explains what they are. So.
Yeah, so um I'm not surprised, and everybody's got their own opinion
Mm-hmm.
on, you know, death row and all of that, so we won't touch on that. uh, but this is what the courts have decided. um, I agree that he definitely should be in jail,
Mm-hmm.
but again, this is what the courts have decided because of the uh, sheer amount of death and drama and trauma and all of that came from this fire. So it's completely understandable why they went with this decision.
Mm-hmm. And now we'll move from somber news to cool, exciting news. Something I may have to take a look into during my trip to Japan. It seems that the Anime Tourism Association unveils this year's list of sites fans should visit for 2025. Now, the list includes over 120 locations from over 100 series and franchises. Now, this year's list adds 15 new titles: Girls Band Cry, Kawasaki City, Kanagawa Prefecture. A Few Moments of Cheers, Kanazawa, Hakui, Ichikawa Prefecture. Blue Orchestra, Chiba City, Chiba Prefecture. Fureru, Takadano Baba, Tokyo Metropolis. Ghost Cat Anzu, Izu, Shizuoka Prefecture. Give It All, Matsuyama City, Ehime Prefecture. Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, such a good anime. Shibuya, Tokyo Metropolis. Maikanai, Too Many Losing Heroines, Toyohashi, Aichi Prefecture. My Dear Friend Nokotan, Hino, Tokyo Metropolis. My Oni Girl, Yonezawa, Yamagacha Prefecture. Narinare, Cheer for You, Takasaki, Numata, Gunma Prefecture. Natsume's Book of Friends, Hitayoshi's Kuma District, Kumamoto Prefecture. Sho Shimin, How to Become Ordinary, Gifu Prefecture. The Colors Within, Nagasaki City, Goto, Shin Kamigoto, Sasebo, Nagasaki Prefecture. And Trapsium, Tateyama, Chiba Prefecture. Other notable titles from this year's list includes Evangelion, Yoru Camp, or known as Laid Back Camp, Digimon Adventure, and the Love Life franchise. Some other well-known older titles also made the list, such as The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, Hanasaku Iroha, A Lull in the Sea, Lucky Star, and Anohana, The Flower We Saw That Day. The Anime Tourism Association was established in 2016 with the aim to connect Japanese anime 88 spots, local regions, corporations, and content holders, allowing them to take advantage of the subject of the Japanese anime 88 spots to provide goods and services to create welcoming environment for tourists, encouraging new economic growth. The association has released its anime pilgrimage sites people should list annually since 2018. The association is holding a press conference for its Anime Pilgrimage Sites 88 program on February 13th at 2 p.m. Japan Standard Time, which is midnight Eastern Standard Time. This will be on the Anime Tourism Association YouTube channel. Right now, if you go on their website at animetourism88.com, they will have the full list up there for 2025, but it's only in Japanese at the time of this recording. So, well, I would say at the time of this article came out, but I'm now checking on the website and seeing. Now I'm going to flip to English and see if they have the 2525 list up in English. It looks like they don't have it up just yet. So, now I may go through this and see if there's anything I can take a look at and check. But I know when I picked up this brochure, part of my trip to go to Japan, I kind of knew ahead of time I wasn't going to check any of these spots, but it was kind of cool to have it. But I was only going to do one thing. I was going to go to Narima and just walk around in the Ranma 1/2 district prefecture, and I did find the bridge, the gate, the fence where I would assume the fence and the river where Ranma Nakane would walk on a regular basis. So that was kind of cool. And thank God for Google Maps and a small park for me to take a breather. All right. Let's see. I think we have one more story left, and I'm kind of excited about this one.
Yeah. So Bandai Namco Amusement America will open its first Bandai Namco Cross store in Brooklyn, New York on February 28th. The store is going to be the company's first interactive retail experience store in the United States and will be located at Japan Village, 5235th Street, floor 2, Brooklyn, New York. The store will be split into 10 department shops to showcase the different Bandai Namco brands. It will be for collectibles, card games, figures, and everyday items. The departments will include Bandai Candy Official Shop Collection, Bandai Spirits Hobby Shop, Gashapon Bandai Official Shop, Mega House Official Store, Namco, One Piece Card Game Official Shop, Pac-Man Select, Sunstar Stationery Shop, Tamagotchi Shop, and Tamashi Nations in cross-store entry models. There are already 8 Bandai Namco cross-store locations in Japan. The first one that opened outside of Japan was in Camden, London in August of 2023. It also opened smaller Gashapon shops in the United Kingdom in Victoria Place in November of 2023, and then in Ealing, Brighton's North Street, and Sheffield's Meadowhall Shopping Center in December 2023. Bandai Namco Amusement operates over 230 arcades throughout Japan, mainly in shopping centers, including the Namco Akihabara 10 arcade at the site of the Jigo, formerly Sega, Akihabara Arcade number 4, that closed in Tokyo's Akihabara shopping district in its 68-year history. So Bandai Namco Holdings has been planning a concert hall that can host 2,000 attendees in Tokyo's
Udagawacho.
Udagawacho, that's a mouthful, which is about 10 minutes by walking from Japan Railways Shibuya Station when it opens in spring of 2026.
Now, I want to say I believe they actually have a location in Ikebukuro, because as I'm going through this article, as you're reading it, I'm just like, this reminds me of the Bandai Namco store that I went to, and the first thing I did was I went into my Google album to look at pictures, and I did take pictures of this mall, but I didn't take a lot. I didn't take any pictures outside to say what it was, but did I? What is this picture? Nope, that was not it. That was a picture of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure arcade game. So there's that. So basically, it's laid out the same way when I walked around, and it was really cool. And it had like a mini. What was also cool, it had like a mini museum of different merchandise that they carry. Like I look at this one picture of the robot from Big O, and then on another glass case is the Dirty Pair, and this was really cool. And there was a section for Cowboy Bebop where you can buy merch and stuff like that, which is something I should have done. And when I walked through here, this is when I discovered that Bandai had all these other brands. Like I did not know Mega House was one of their brands, so I thought that was really cool. So I don't think I'm trying to think. I no, I'm not gonna be around the weekend that they open, but that following week I'm gonna try like that maybe that Friday or that following Friday or Saturday. I'm gonna try to make my way in over there and check it out. Now I've been to Japan Village. Think of it well if you ever been to St. Mark's Place in New York City. I like to call it Little Shibuya, more or less, because it's a small strip that's a block to a block and a half of mostly food places, which is really nice, including Kenka, which is like my all-time favorite restaurant. Because honestly, if out of all the restaurants that's on in that block and a half, that place is the best and the cheapest. But Japan Village is more like a mini Akihabara of sorts because it's like in a 1 to 2 block area within Industry City, which is about 3 to 4 blocks, and it's you'll find Book Off, you'll find Izakayas, which is basically Japanese diners or something like that. And you'll find the Daiso and a couple of other Japanese stores as well. And I've been up to the second floor where some stores are, but looks like they've been able to carve something in. That's going to be kind of cool. And my first thought was, where are they going to put this in Manhattan? That was my first thought because the Tamashi Nation store is basically in Times Square. Granted, it's very small because I think that used to be a Starbucks, or I'm thinking of another store location. But this place looks to be huge, so that's gonna be kind of fun. And now that we got that out the way, we're gonna get into the part of the show that y'all really enjoy. Meanwhile, in Japan, let's take a look here. I'm going to take the first story.
I will. I am actually going to take the first story from last week that we didn't cover.
Oh, really? That's a wild card.
Yeah.
And let me go take a look at that.
Yeah.
Wait, we did cover this.
We did?
Yeah.
I don't think we covered this.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yes.
I don't remember us covering this.
The 71-year-old that robbed the 63 houses and treats strangers to sushi?
No.
That was last week.
Right. I'm gonna do the first one. Did you remove it from the list?
No.
The first one is the one for the maid cafe.
Okay. Now, if you go back 2 weeks ago, that was the first story. Last week, it was the second story. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh?
As I am looking at our notes here, for the week of January 28th, the maid story is the second story on the list. If you go back to the 21st, that is the first story on that list.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the articles. I'm looking at your outline.
Oh, go back to episode 662. Ah, gotcha. I see what I did. I swapped the stories around. Gotcha. It's far and few I actually do that because I was kind of merging stories from 2 weeks ago since we didn't do a show. Gotcha. My bad. And let me actually put this story in this week's outline so I actually know to update the description on that. So take a look here. All right, that's done. All right, let's go ahead and indent that. And we are perfect. So now we're going to get into our last two stories of the night. Meanwhile in Japan. And the first story is basically about Osaka banning smoke on all its streets, and violators are going to be patrolled and by patrols, and vaping is included on that. Well, now. No. There we go. The third largest city in Japan into the smoking ban ahead of the World's Fair. Kind of makes sense. Quite often in Japan, it's in the spring that new laws, rules, and ordinances go into effect. Since that's when the Japanese fiscal, academic, and many other official calendars start. Osaka, though, is getting a head start on a change when it wants to be in place by spring. And as of Monday, January 27th, smoking on the street is banned in all of Osaka City, a city of 2.75 million residents. Change isn't entirely sudden, though, as on the street smoking was already banned in certain parts of Osaka. It is now illegal everywhere within the city, though, as the new ordinance also closes the loophole that e-cigs and vape pens previously slipped through, as they, like conventional cigarettes, are now barred from use on the streets except in officially designated smoking areas. So one thing in Japan is you can smoke, but there are designated places where you can smoke only. And I've seen like places in Akihabara where there's like 20 people like in a small, like in an outdoor enclosed area to smoke. And I'm just like, that's ridiculous. But I just shrugged it and paid it no mind to continue my tour. And I think after that, I really didn't pay any time, like places for people that were smoking. When I was in Osaka, I didn't see anything like that. So I guess this was kind of cool. This isn't one of those situations where Japan passes a toothless new law with the stipulation that the public is required to make an effort to comply with. As the ban goes into effect, civil servants will be making patrols to spot violators, and smoking on the street is punishable by a fine of 1,000 yen, which is $6.40 per offense. But you know what's really interesting? The price of a pack of cigarettes in Japan. A pack will run you 400 yen. That's like $2. That's wild. The smoking ban comes as a part of a wider beautification project in Osaka, and Gundam prepare to welcome visitors to the Expo 2025 World Expo, which the city will be hosting from April to October of this year. Though not necessarily tied to the event, current development plans include the installation of 17 new public smoking areas, bringing the city's total to 330 by the Expo's opening date of April 13th. And I believe this is something we talked about on the show previously, that I will be in Osaka while this is going on. But I think the bulk of it's going to be on a remote island that you can travel through back and forth or something like that. So hopefully the merchandise there be reasonably priced. Then again, most of the merchandise I bought in Don Quixote and local hotels were like reasonably priced. I was like, damn, something like this will run me 3 times as much money in an American hotel. Okay, Mako, it's on you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's a new Japanese maid cafe who has a strict age limit. Yeah, so it's been less than a year since Maid Cafe Shangri-La opened, but it's already made a name for itself as one of the most unique maid cafes in Japan. Even more impressively, Shangri-La managed to achieve its fame while operating far away from the otaku mecca of Tokyo's Akihabara district, as it's located in the comparatively quiet town of Kiryu, Gunma Prefecture. So, why is it attracting attention? Because of its strict age limit for its maids. It's no secret that a major draw of maid cafes is the opportunity to talk with cute waitresses, dressed in frilly outfits, and so most cafes tend to focus on hiring younger staff. At Shangri-La, though, management dictate an official age limit that all of its maids must be at least 65 years old. So that is the minimum age required to work at this cafe, meaning that those that are 65 are actually the youngest members of the wait staff. Uh, on the day the cafe first opened, There were 7 maids on duty, ranging in age from 65 to 72. It opened up last July. It opened in July of last year and is the brainchild of local NPO Kids Valley, an organization that creates community places for both children and seniors to gather in. Operating out of an empty storefront in a building near Kiryu Station, the cafe serves bento box lunches with onigiri rice balls and simmered dishes, and also offers an all-you-can-drink soft
Hmm.
drink. In keeping with the maid cafe industry standards, when the maids serve customers, they make little heart shapes with their hands and chant incantations such as Moe Moe Kyon, become more delicious, to enhance the flavor fun. The maids also pose for photos with customers. And to celebrate the start of the new year, one of them, who also works as an after school program instructor, gave a brief calligraphy lesson so that visitors to the cafe could do their first brushstroke writing of the year.
Hmm.
The cafe is only open once a month on the first Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. Nevertheless, it's been attracting crowds of about 40 customers each day, mainly locals, but recently included young adults from as far away as Tokyo and Osaka. It's proving to be a unique meeting point for people from different age groups. With one 65-year-old maid saying, I learn a lot talking with the customers who are older than me, and it makes me feel happy and young again when young female customers say I'm cute. And an 85-year-old man from the town of Midori, Gunma, who came to eat at the cafe, remarking, it was nice to talk to a maid who's young enough to be my daughter and to do calligraphy. The next time they open is February 1st, which already happened. So March 1st will be their next open day.
Okay. Now if it wasn't for the fact they were open the first Saturday of the month, I would make an attempt to go.
I mean, this is definitely a cute idea.
Yes.
Um, just because I mean, sometimes you don't want to go and hang out with a bunch of teenagers.
Now there is two Shangri-La maid cafes.
Yes, now there are two, but they are two completely different themes.
Yeah. And I just realized I think I lost the pictures I took at that cafe. But it's okay. I'm going back to visit again, so I'm gonna get brand new pictures taken as well. So that's going to be fun. Because I'm looking at the name, I'm like, wait a minute, wait 1 minute, it's the same name. But and I thought that was kind of cool. So leave that tab that later. I stumbled across there is a maid cafe in Akihabara that hires only foreigners, so I'm just kind of cool. I'm kind of curious about that. See if it's still open. So
That would be cool.
it's called Sugoi Kawaii. And yeah, this article came. This article like 8 years old, so I'll check the website later and see what's up. So then again, the Shangri-La article is 10 years old and they're still going, so I don't see why not. So
Hmm.
all right, so I think that is it. I think we've gotten through everything here, so I think it's time to wrap up the show and get the heck up on out of here.
Agreed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and cue up the closing theme. So, if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters. So, what we like and don't like, we're going to tell you outright. And that's how we do. So, if you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. And while you're at it, don't forget to support our podcast by following, liking, and subscribing to it in any app that handles podcasts like Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever. Just search Anime Jam Session and we'll come up. Hit the subscribe button and check us out. And if you can, leave us a review. We want to know what you think of the show. If you can't, drop an email. Either or is really cool and appreciated either way. Don't forget to check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you'll find not just our weekly podcast, you will find cosplay interviews, cosplay tips and tricks, editorials, anime reviews. You'll find external links to our YouTube and Facebook pages for coverage of conventions and cosplay and a whole lot more. All of that at animejamsession.com. And follow us on our social media. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Blue Sky. It's Anime Jam Session. Follow us on all of those. So that way you know when we're going live, when we have new articles, any cool stuff. And to anyone that follows us on those socials, thank you so much. We really appreciate the love and support. Now, down below, if you're still paying attention live, we have a tip jar. Stream Elements, Streamlabs, and Ko-Fi. You can click directly with that to send us money. Or you can cheer us on with bits, that's cool too. Or you can sub to the channel or give out gift subs. Every little bit counts, and we're really greatly appreciative of that. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Mako-chan.
I am going to sleep and hoping like hell that I feel better before this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not feeling better by Friday, it's off to urgent care.
Well, keep me posted. That way I know if I'm bringing stuff or not to go into storage. That's all I really care, for the most part.
Will do. I'll know by Friday. I took off already, so I'm just gonna hang around, and if I'm feeling like crap, I'll end up going, and so I'll know by early afternoon.
Well, it sounds like it's time for you to start doing some Robitussin shots.
I have stuff, but if it's bronchitis, then Robitussin really isn't gonna help with anything.
Fair. And my last words is, after the edits, I'm gonna play some more Yakuza. I'm kind of feeling it. Well, that is it. End of list. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Me and Maka will be here. Ari will be here. Barry should be here. Will you be here? We hope that you are. So that's it. And that's it. We're gonna get up on out of here. So I'm Ranma.
And I am Mako-chan.
Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
That's it. Perfect. We're going to get up on out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!